Okay, good evening. Welcome to
FamilyMath 255b.
255b. So this is a really neat problem I saw in the New York Times today. I'm going to have you read the whole article after we're done. And it tells it more like a story. But the story is basically this. You have a calculator and you accidentally drop it on the floor and it breaks. They call this the broken calculator problem. And once the calculator breaks, you only have 3 buttons that do anything. One of them, so it has a 0 up on the display. One of the buttons seems to add 5.
Yeah.
One of the buttons seems to add 7. And there's another button that takes the square root. And somebody says, geez, this is not all that useful of a calculator. Now, is it? And they say, I can't even make the number 2. And then someone else chimes in and says, oh, yes, you can make the number 2, and that's the challenge, the broken calculator challenge. So you have a 0 in the display, and you have a +5 button, a +7 button, and a square root button, and you're trying to make the number 2.
Well, the way I see we could make 2 is we need to add these together to get an even number. And you add some 5s and some 7s to get an even number. Well, and we need to get an even, well, not even number, we need to get a power of 2. We need 2 to the something.
Okay.
Where this has to be an even number.
All right. How come?
Because then you can repeatedly take the square root until you get 2.
Okay, give me an example of that.
Like 2 to the 4th, you can take the square root, you get 2 squared. Take the square root, you get 2 to the 1.
Okay. What about 2 to the 6th?
Well, there's some problems, because then you get 2 cubed and then you can't take the square root here.
Ah, okay.
But, well, that spoils my idea. I was trying to go for 64, which is 2 to the 6th, so that does not work.
Okay, well, I don't know if it works or doesn't work, but you can certainly take the square root of that, and what would you get?
Yeah, you'd get 2 cubed, or 8.
Okay, so if you can make 64, you can make 8.
Well, now we have an 8 that we might be able to use. Well, if we could get 2 to the 4th, or 2 to the 8th, or 2 to the 16th.
Oh, interesting.
Because you need the powers of 2 to be powers of 2.
Interesting. You need the powers of 2 to be powers of 2.
So this is 16. This is 256. And then this is 256 squared.
Okay.
Well, let's see. If we can get 256, then we're good. Or 16, or whatever this is.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we can definitely get 250 by just using the 5 button.
Right, how would you do that?
Just use the 5 button a bunch of times till you got to 250.
Okay.
But if we can get to 250 minus 8, or 244, actually no. 248, 256 minus 8? Because we already have an 8 here.
Where did that 8 come from?
That came from using to do 60. That came from 64.
Where did the 64 come from?
It came from trying 2 to the 6th, but we may not be able. We can't save the 8 and use it later.
Right, you can't save the 8 and use it later, and you didn't make the 8 anyway.
Well, how would we make 16 or 256? How are we going to be able to do this? So we can make some powers of 2 using these numbers, but not all powers of 2.
Okay.
Actually, if we could get 2 squared, we could also make, if we made 4, we could make 2.
True.
Too bad we can't subtract 5.
Yeah, that's what makes this challenging.
Well, I'm kind of stuck here. Not sure how to proceed from here.
Okay. What's a good thing to do when you don't know how to proceed?
Do something.
Okay. Do something.
Well, we could try. We could have another shot at 256.
All right. Good idea.
So, well, if we can use some 5s and 7s. So I'll make a chart. We need to use 51 5s to make 255.
Okay.
And then, oh, we can't make this.
All right.
This doesn't work. 55s still doesn't work.
Okay.
49 5s, we'd get 245. We'd get 11, but nope.
Okay.
48. We get 16. That still doesn't work.
Okay.
We need to keep subtracting until we run into a multiple of 7.
Okay.
235. Then 235 plus 21 is 256.
Interesting.
So this is 7 times 3. And this is 5 times 47.
Okay. So how are you going to make 256 on the calculator now?
So I'm going to hit this button 5 times, 47 times.
Okay.
Hit this button 3 times.
Yeah.
That gets me to 256.
Okay.
And then I need to take the square root. So I get 2 to the 8th, then 2 to the 4th, then 2 squared, then 2.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, hey, good job. You got there. Remember, when you're stuck,
Do something.
do something. And as soon as you did something, got there. Good job. Good work.